Hey folks, today I want to talk to you about us being lights in the world as Christians. So how do we do this? Do we speak to other people in line at the grocery store or when we're at the gas pump? Maybe your neighborhood. Do folks in your neighborhood know that we are Christians? Do they know that you're one that studies the Bible and is somebody to come to if they have questions or answers about the Bible? We need to make sure we are. So our focus passage this morning is Ephesians 5, 8 through 10. Let me read that now for us. For at one time you were darkness, but now you are light. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of light is found in all that is good and right and true, and try to discern what is pleasing to the Lord. So, when we see this, what does that mean? Where do we go with this? How do we become lights in the world? So more on that in a second. A great example of this is a lighthouse along the shore for seagoing mariners who, on board ships in the ocean, need direction to keep from running aground. I myself have been on ships in the Panama Canal down in Central America where there's a light fixture way off in the distance that lights up, whether it's high or low, left or right, for ships to keep them in the middle of the canal so they don't run aground side to side. It's a pretty wild system, but guess what? It keeps everybody safe, and it's amazing to do that, right? So do we portray God's light? Do we shine brightly for God? Like I said, do our neighbors know that we're Christians, that we are the ones they can come to for questions and answers? So when we look at the book of Ephesians, we see at the beginning of this, in the middle of chapter 4, actually, the title of the passage there is A New Life. And that can tie here to our verse in verse 8, where at one time you were in darkness. So one time, folks, we were all sinners. We were all at one point in time sinners. But now we are light. We are the light of the world. And in the chaos and the crazy world we have going on right now, folks, in this sinful world, we need to be brighter lights in the world than we are now. And I challenge everyone to be more attentive to opportunities to shine that bright light in the world. So when we look at this, how do we do it? We don't lean on our own understanding. We read that in Psalms 119, 105. Leaning not on our own understanding. The Bible is where our understanding comes from. So don't go into a shopping or a grocery store or on a shopping trip to your local store or at the gas pump without saying a prayer and asking for God's help in guiding you to somebody that might need to hear about Christ, or might need to, need a shoulder to possibly cry on even, or just someone that's ready and open and willing to accept the gospel message that day. Be ready to give witness to those in our paths. We need to always be ready to give witness to those in our paths, folks. We need to, in verse 9, for the fruit of light is found in all that is good and right and true. So when we are trying to learn our way and be a bright light to the world out there, all that is good and right and true is right here in Scripture, folks. We need to be in it. We need to be reading it. We need to be getting our guidance from it, which will recharge our battery and allow that light to shine brightly. Folks, we read here too that in John, we read that as long as Jesus is in the world, he is the light of the world. Well, folks, if we're Christians, we have Jesus in our heart, which guess what? That means that the light should shine brightly from us, and we should exude the light shining from us as we move forward through our day and as we affect our sphere of influence. This is a term I like to use a lot. So we see that here in this, as we try to discern, as we see here in verse 10, we try to discern what is good and pleasing to the Lord is loving others. But loving others is going out and being a light to their soul, which is pleasing to God as we move forward through our day and through our weeks. Whether it's, like I said, whether it's at a gas pump, at a grocery store, at work, your neighborhood, be a light to the world, folks. Hey, if you like these videos, I would like for you to hit the thumbs up on the button below or subscribe to the GCA YouTube page. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you.